Everyone, it's KIREI here for Bramble Fox, and I am using the fabulous new June Fox box. I've pulled out the Loved This title. I'm using the clouds and the wooden The Details sign. So I have 8 photos. I had to think then. 8 photos that I'm going to use, and I've pulled out. This is an older collection. It's Maggie Holmes' Road Trip, but I love the pretty floral paper ground here, so I decided I'd use it as a frame. So I've trimmed my white cardstock down, and then I've got my frame. However, what I hadn't thought about is when I'm going to use 3 strips of photos. So I'm going to use a strip of 4, a strip of 3, and then just one photo on its own. But when I got the square down, and you will see that in a moment, when I stick it all down and then sit my photos on it, they are quite tight within that white square, and of course by the time I've mounted the photos, then it was going to overlap, and I was like, oh, does it matter? But actually no, I wanted them to remain within the square, so I do actually change that off camera before I keep going. Yeah, and you'll see that in a moment. Anyway, so at the moment, yeah, I've got my floral frame, I've got my 8 photos in those 3 sort of strips there. I've got those super cute little clouds that come with the Fox box. There's 3 of those, 2 that are open and then 1 that is filled in. So I've got some of the pattern papers here that I'm going to use because I don't have much of this collection yet left. I've got bits and pieces, but I've got quite a bit of the small paper pad. So I am going to back the 4 photo strip with this green, but obviously it's not long enough. So I'm going to back them in 2s, and then I'm just going to stick them together. Yes, by slotting them in. You'll see what I do because it's on camera. But yeah, it was an easy way to work around the fact that I didn't have a long strip of the green. And I definitely wanted to use that green, and I'll also use a pink as well for the middle strip of 3, and then I go back to the green for the last single photo. But you'll see what I do, I think, in just a moment. There we go. So I'm going to just sort of tuck them in over each other, stick them down, and I'll just pop a little bit of tape at the back to secure it. So yeah, but you might have seen then just how close it was. Okay, now I've corrected it. So my white background is now, I think it's 11 by 11, maybe just a little bit over that. Anyway, so trimmed that down so that my strips fitted much better. Now I brought in this the cloud stencil. This is Fox Cut number 138. That comes with the Fox Box Plus subscription, and I'm just adding a little bit of stencil detail with the clouds at the top of my photo strips there. I'm using Distress Oxide in Spun Sugar. It is quite soft, but that's okay. I tend to keep any stenciling I do a little softer. It's not always too heavy. Never say never. But yeah, so it is quite soft, but I just like that subtle layering because I'm going to then add the white cloud perspectives and they're going to sit over it. So I quite like how that looked. So I'm just working out whether I need to add in any more. What I should have probably done is put my white perspective clouds on, because I did end up covering them a little bit more than maybe I'd like, but actually it was okay in the end. Okay, my photo strips, I'm backing completely with foam pads. When I do strips like this, I often find I just back them completely with foam pads and raise them. I'm always going to get some dimension into my layout, so I'm going to raise something because I couldn't have everything stuck down flat. So yeah, and then I can get those strips stuck down. I'm having to use this different tape runner gun. It's almost like my backup against my ATG, because my ATG is my favorite, but this one works really well. But I'd run out of tape and I'd completely forgotten, so I've had to order some. So yeah. Okay, I'm pulling in some of the ephemera pieces, not loads, but just there's some sort of floral elements that I've got. I'm going to add, there's a tag there that I do change actually. And now actually I'll get my title down. I don't always do the title until a bit later, but actually I knew exactly where it was going. So I thought I'd get that in position because then I'd know where my cloud needed to sit. Excuse me. And then that's down and I can start to work on my embellishment clusters. Okay, so I'm still playing around with that tag, but I do change it. because I've got the Paper Snips number 93 that I am going to use. And they also come with the Foxbox Plus subscription. And you can find all the details. If you're not a Foxbox subscriber, you can find all the details over on bramblefox.co.uk and just click on Foxbox. Yeah, and there's two subscription options. There's your regular Foxbox and then your Foxbox Plus. Okay, so I've got some sticker elements there that I have been de-stickering with my powder brush, because that way I've got more flexibility when I'm working with them. And I never stick stickers down flat anyway. They're always going to be curved up. Here's the paper snips. So I'm going to use this little piece here that I'm going to just tuck in over. Well, actually, initially I thought I was going to add it under the title, but and use that for my journaling. But I changed my mind about that. I actually switched out the tag over on the left and I tucked that piece in. Then I've got a couple of little phrases that I've pulled off. Time together and today we did. Because our photos, we were down for a weekend with Lee's aunt and uncle in Kent, and we went to look at a couple of these sort of churches, and they're quite quirky. There's one of them is St Thomas Becket, and it is right in the middle of Romney Marsh, so it's really unusual because it's completely surrounded by the marsh. And to go into the church, you have to go and pick up the key, which is on the lane next to the marsh, at the sort of like the house. I think it's like a farmhouse or something. And there's a picture there, I think, with the key on the wall. Or did I not add it? Oh, yes, it is. It's the single photo there. Yeah, so that's really unusual. And then the other church is St Augustine's Church, and it has an octagonal spire that sits next to the church rather than being on top of it. So that was really unusual as well. So yeah. Anyway, so this was another of my photos that I've now ticked off my long list of layouts to be done. But it's working. I love it, actually, because I just go to my list of photos and look through it and think, what do I think is going to work with whatever project that I'm going to work on. Okay, my clouds, I decided I was going to back the open clouds because they're going to sit over sort of the photos and that, and I just wanted them to really pop. So I'm just using that pink paper with it's got a bit of gold detailing on it to back the clouds. And so they replicate then the pink stencil clouds in the background. So back the two of those, and then I just realised, I think here I'm just going to trim a little bit more off. Not happy with there's a little bit still showing. And then I'm going to stick them down. I've got the larger cloud. I'm still going here. Obviously didn't do a very good job when I did this in the first place. Okay, so it is going to get stuck down. Here we go. And then I'm just layering that over my photos. I've got the other one over to the right there. That will sit just above Love This. And then I've got the filled in white cloud that will sit over on the left. And then because this one's sitting over on the left, it's going to layer over the photo slightly. So I do add a little bit of foam pad under the left side of it, so it just sits up. Otherwise, I would have struggled. Okay. Oh, right. So I've got that down. And then I think, oh no, forgot about this. Oh, there's some little enamel hearts. I've just got some little palping hearts. I'm just going to add a few of those in around my embellishment clusters. And then I think I'm pretty much done. I will add my journaling, obviously, off camera. But yeah, so I'm really happy with how the layout came together. The title and the other elements in the Foxbox were just perfect for my photos of a day out in Kent. Okay, here is the final layout, and here are some of the close-up pics of the fabulous perspectives. There's the Love This title, the details, sign, and then I've got the paper snips and of course the stenciling and those cute little clouds. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now.